Hey guys, today we're playing Scott Pilgrim versus the World. This is Mikey on Mikey's Video Game Madness. I recorded this game about almost 2 years ago, and I did it with a crappy camera, and it looked pretty crappy. And I've always wanted to redo this video because I really like the colors and the pixel art. And now that I have a Hodgepodge recorder, I erased the old video and I'm re-recording this. The commentary on the older video might have been better, but it would have probably sounded horrible, and the camera had an autofocus that I couldn't turn off, and it was kind of a nightmare. I'm picking Average Joe because this game is quite difficult. Now, as you can see, this is a homage to Super Mario Brothers 2. Let's see. We have Scott Kim, the drummer from Sex Bob-omb, which is Scott Pilgrim's band. And if you don't get the bob-omb, those are those walking bombs on Super Mario Brothers. And then you have Stills, which is the main singer of the band Sex Bob-omb. And then you have Ramona, Scott's girlfriend. And then you have Scott Pilgrim again. We'll play as Scott this time. When I recorded this last time, I think I played as Ramona, because Ramona has like a hammer. You can change the color. You can play up to 4 players. One thing I will complain about this game is that it doesn't have an online co-op mode, which blows my mind considering this day and age. This game would have been amazing if it did, because this game is quite difficult. One good thing about this game is you can replay the levels and level up as much as you want to, so if you suck at a level, you can slowly get better. Now, this game is a homage to a lot of 8-bit games, but it's closest to River City Rampage with the RPG elements and being able to walk in the stores and purchase things. But the animation is, of course, a lot better, and the combos are a little bit deeper. One thing that's kind of annoying about this game, unless you level up a whole lot, it takes a long time to kill one guy. Now, if you're not aware, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is based on a comic book series, or a manga series if you're super picky, but I always consider manga like a Japanese thing. I think when it's American, it's comic book or graphic novel. I consider Scott Pilgrim a graphic novel. But the books are like a manga. I can't remember if you gotta read them backwards. From right to left like you do with most mangas. I have the first book, I read the first book, I never got to get to reading the other books. Not because I didn't want to or it was bad, when I go to the comic book store, there's so many choices to pick from. I just keep on trying something else. And the books are like $10 a pop, so I just want to try everything. And there's also the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the movie, which I think up to book 3 follows the movie's plot fairly closely. And I just don't want to rewatch. I reread the book. I'll spend $10 on each individual book and read it and already know what's gonna happen. But when the movie was made, the movie was about at least finished being written when only the 3rd book was done. So I think the comic books are graphic novels, or manga, depending on how picky you are, tend to stray from there and the accuracy just because the books weren't written yet. But I think at that point, like, the movie and the books are borrowing off of each other. I would almost go as far to say as this game is based on the comic, but it's kind of separate in its own universe from the... Shit, that was a hole. Obviously. I think this is the first time I ever fell into it. The snow in this game when I first recorded this confused the shit out of my camera. Oh, that was mean. I love in the Scott Pilgrim versus the World universe how they're just like typical average nerdy kids, but they're just super good at fighting. If you didn't look in the intro section, or the movie section, I forgot what I called it. Or it's like Michael's Video Game Madness presents, and I have intros to games. Scott Pilgrim versus the World was on the intro. If you didn't watch that, basically the story is in order to date Ramona Flowers, which as you saw was Ramona, like as one of the playable characters, Scott has to defeat her 7 evil exes. And that's basically how the game is too, and what happens in the movie. Ironically, you don't get to play as Knives. You do now if you get the downloadable content at $5, which is ridiculous, but the fact that you could play as Kim and Stills blows my mind, because Knives actually does fight in the game. I mean in the movie. But I don't know if Kim or Styles actually fights though. Kim might. I don't know. I haven't read the other comic books. I really need to. They're re-releasing them in color, but they're hardback and super expensive. So I get the black and white ones. Scott Pilgrim is kind of popular. Like depending on who's working at the comic book store. I know I shouldn't care, but I do, and I hate it when you go there and you have this super pretentious asshole like that'll basically roll their eyes if you get something that's popular, like, oh, why are you reading this instead of this super deluxe underground thing that nobody knows about. Probably because nobody knows about it. They only have 2 million books there. Like, it's so pretty overwhelming. But yeah, they're kind of pretentious, just in the way like some people would be at a music store or a bookstore. And actually the comic book store is actually half of a regular bookstore. They actually sell used paperbacks. And another half's a comic book store. And I've been going there since I was a kid, and you don't even have to drive. It's walking distance from the house. So that's pretty cool to be walking distance within a comic book store. That and a river. This is a pretty good area. The only thing I wish was walking distance is we were closer to the city, because it's still kind of suburban. And when you have suburban areas like that, like I miss when I lived downtown, is that I like to people watch and just sitting on the porch and watching people all the time. It's like one of my favorite things to do that I miss at the old house, because when you live in the city, somebody's always doing something outside. People kind of stay in their house to play video games, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I don't know if they're recording videos though, so that makes me slightly more awesome. But as I said, I think this kind of takes place in its own world, because I'm sure Scott Pilgrim doesn't, well, I know for a fact he doesn't fight a million dudes just to get to wherever he's going. He usually fights a million dudes when he fights an evil X. Here's the emo kids. If you give them a chance to flip their hair back, it actually regains some of their health. I don't know if any of them will do it. There's a basketball. I don't know how much damage that could possibly do. I think getting hit by it with a sign would hurt worse. I love the pixel art on this. I used to have a job, I don't know if I ever talked about this. I used to have a job doing quality control for store fixtures, and before I could pass or reject the store fixtures that the people would build, I'd have to wait for them to build it, so it was super boring until things were built and I actually could check the blueprints and the materials and whatnot. And they had an internet block, so I would live on Microsoft Paint, and I believe there's a video where I had some of my pixel art. Some of it's quite crude, but I didn't save a lot of it, which I wish I should have, because some of it got quite good. So I can really appreciate pixel art, because I used to make it all the time, because MS Paint was one of the programs that actually wasn't blocked on there, because sometimes we had to use it for presentations because they were too cheap to actually buy any kind of PowerPoint software or Photoshop or anything. So the movie's pretty awesome. It was directed by Edgar Wright. If you don't know, he directed the Space series with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, which I think is an awesome show. And if you don't know about it and you like Shaun of the Dead, which is another Edgar Wright film, or Hot Fudge, which is another Edgar Wright film, you should definitely check it out. Or if you like Simon Pegg, or Nick Frost, really, because he's in that too. I don't know, I think that show is awesome. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's on there anymore. Netflix is kind of taking off all their good shows and replacing it with shitty movies. Shitty blockbuster movies that I don't give two shits about. But I don't think this movie got the kind of fans that it deserved, because the person who wrote this is around my age. As of recording, I'm like 28. So I guess when this came out, I was around 25. And I guess the writer of the comic book is of similar age, but they marketed this series towards like teenagers born in 1992 or something. And this like has more 8-bit references than people who grew up on the Nintendo 64. Wow, I really sucked at that. And like Hot Topic really exploited it, which I really don't mind. Hot Topic, at least to work there. I worked there for a while and I enjoyed it. Some of the people are kind of weird, but usually if something is exploited at Hot Topic, it turns a lot of people off and turns people away. And then I don't think they knew the caliber of people that were in it. I mean, Michael Cera's in it. Elizabeth Weinstein played Ramona Flowers, which is ridiculously cute. It's a shame she's married, even though like I say it's a shame she's married, like anybody'd have a chance, or I have a chance or anything. But I don't know, like single movie stars are more appealing for some reason. You always feel bummed out when they get married. They just become less appealing. You can't like them as much. That's my rule anyway. And basically a lot of the girls that are famous, that have a crush on it, have been married at this point, because we're all getting old. The only one she was married, Zooey Deschanel, who I think is really cute. She was married, but she got a divorce. But recently, Karen O from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs got married. I'm like, oh man, now she's less appealing. Marriage makes you less appealing, girls. Just in case you know. But that's only with famous girls that you don't have a chance with anyway. Not that I have a chance with regular girls that were married. Not like that. Or even if I was, I doubt that I would be charismatic enough to pull that off, or would want to. So you actually can go into all these shops, and I probably should, because I'm running low on health. This douchebag. He looks like the dude from Dashboard Confessional if he actually built muscles. The dude from Dashboard Confessional built muscles, not this guy. This guy obviously has muscles. The dude from Dashboard Confessional is pretty skinny. And since he's got famous, he seems more kind of like a douche. I know I've been going from topic to topic, and I'm trying to catch up with myself of where I left off, but I'm realizing now that it's a lost cause, because I have no idea where I left off. I know I was talking about Hot Topic, and then girls and Zooey Deschanel. Another crush I had that got married recently is Regina Spektor, and it used to be Gwen Stefani, but Gwen Stefani's been married for quite some time now. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it is. I can't believe the 1990s was over 20 years ago. It's insane. feel so old, and yet I feel young at the same time. But like, just knowing the passage of time is what makes me feel old, but I feel young. And I'm getting a hint that's what feeling old like, until you start to like jog or exercise or something, and then you actually physically feel old. But physically I feel young, like at 28, and I get told that 28 is still young. But I guess I'm at that time in my life where, like, if I'm not doing exactly what I want to right now, I feel like everything's over. I have no future, and I know it's not true, but I guess I'm sort of immature in that way. So I guess I am kind of young in that way of thinking. It's like, oh, I haven't wrote my novel, or I haven't gotten into film and all that stuff yet, and I just need to work on it and do it. I mean, look at Alfred Hitchcock. He was doing stuff until like the 70s or whenever. Like, I knew he was doing stuff in the 60s. I forgot how old he was. I think he lived like 82 or something. I don't want to wait that long. And I'm not waiting, like, I'm working on stuff, but it's just like I'm 28 and I'm not exactly where I want to be. I'm still kind of living a single lifestyle. I'm not like settled down or anything, and I guess everybody else is around me, so you almost feel guilty, like you should be doing all this stuff, even though like you're personally not ready. But you feel like your life's over, because you feel like, oh, 30's like some sort of cusp. Even though I keep on hearing 30's the new 20, but it's just, once you turn 30 at 28, and like when you're 28 and you think you're turning 30, and you feel like that's it. That's where everything just starts going downhill, and it's not true. And I guess that's what 30-year-olds that turn 40 feel like. That's how my mom was, scared to turn 40, and then 40 wasn't a big deal until 50 came along. And I think she's getting over 50 now. So I guess it just depends on your mindset. You just gotta keep at it. But I keep on getting told how young I am. I'm like, oh, I'm so old. I haven't accomplished everything that I want to. And it's just like, give it a break. I guess maybe what makes it hard is a lot of your peers are, like I said, are starting to live the married life and stuff like that, so it's harder to meet people that are like your age, even though they're out there, and where you're kind of shy like me, where you get shy on YouTube video recordings, which is kind of ridiculous. It's sort of hard to meet like new people. I'm not one to randomly walk up to someone and have conversation with somebody I don't know. I'm so shitty at small talk, so it can be difficult. But I'm way better at it than I was, say, a few years ago. A few years ago, I thought that, oh, I'll just have a drink, and then you just wind up being obnoxious too, because you end up drinking too much, and then you act like an ass, and then you'll forever be reminded of that too. You gotta find the social medium, I guess. Man, I really like this pixel art. My goal is, even though this is going to be a long ass video, is to defeat the first evil X, and then I will stop the video there if I get to him. If I don't, then you know, you got to listen to me talk about all my midlife crisis insecurities, so this video's got that going for it. You guys are my venting ground. That way I don't have to pay for therapy. I'm sorry if you guys feel used and dirty because of that. I'll make it up by making more videos with commentary. I was gonna say with less bitching, but who am I kidding? It's gonna be there. It's part of the Mikey's Video Game Madness experience. It's a subspace highway. Basically, a subspace highway is a way to travel through people's dreams in order to get shortcuts. Look at all these coins, and it's funny, if you look closely, they're Canadian coins. If you live in America, it's getting Canadian coins mixed in your change is quite common. It's kind of funny because the vending machines actually take it even though they're not supposed to, because they're basically the same shape and size. I'm sure that's not a problem you come across in Europe, although I guess with the euro and stuff that probably eliminated it, but I guess with pounds could get mixed up. I'm not 100% sure about all the currency in Europe because I've never been. I always wanted to, but unfortunately it's quite expensive, and I wasn't blessed with, I wouldn't call it blessed, honestly though, with rich relatives, because some of the people I know in the family that have rich relatives and get everything they want are total douchebag assholes, and I wouldn't want anything like them. I'm humble for the let me get these coins first. Why do I have to get these coins to finish? I'm pretty humble about like my status in society and my financial status. Like, I wouldn't want to be rich. Really, my dreams in life are just to be comfortable and do the things I want, do something creative that people appreciate, maybe make money off of it, travel every once in a while, like have my own personal group of creative friends and stuff, hang out, have a house downtown, have a dog, maybe eventually settle down with a significant other, you know. I don't need any fancy cars, it's a giant house. It'd be cool to have a house down the river downtown. So this is Scott's first battle with the evil X. You can see as a little Hadouken attack. And he leveled up. Scott Pilgrim Ramona Flowers is actually leveled up quite a bit, but when my PlayStation's hard drive restarted, it erased all that. I recently, a few months ago, upgraded my PlayStation's hard drive, not the PlayStation itself, because I have the PlayStation that is just hipster chicks, and yes, they're actually hipster chicks. I'm not just trying to be funny. They actually refer to it, at least on the movie. I can't remember in the book. I only read the book one time, a long time ago. But in the movie, he sings a song about his demon hipster chick attack. If there's any cringe-worthy moments in the movie, I have to say it would be the song that this evil X sings in the movie. One thing that's hard to get used to in this game is to find the where the hitboxes are. So sometimes you get too close to an enemy and you'll start punching them and it doesn't even hurt them. Hell, I like how they flash like they do in like Konami beat 'em ups. Is he getting hit by that? I can't tell. I think he's like hipster chicks. They look like they bathe, even though they're demon hipster chicks. Usually hipsters, at least in Richmond, usually aren't that clean. They might shop at thrift stores, but I know that's a cliche for a hipster. We used to call that cliche being poor, but now it's called hipster. Or being broke, not poor. When I was a kid, I used to get hand-me-downs all the time. I'd hardly call myself a hipster. I guess hipsters getting fashionable used clothes, fashionable hand-me-downs. Apparently that's cool now. When I was in school, they'd tease me if I had to sit hand-me-downs or not brand clothes, name brand clothes. It's funny how time is. I used to also like get made fun of for being into video games too, because that wasn't popular, and now everybody plays them. It's like so normal now and not nerdy at all. Although I have to say, when I tell people I make a YouTube channel, that still hasn't passed the cusp of like normal. That's still kind of on an awfully nerdy side, but you know, there's no shame in my game, or lack thereof. I'm totally happy being nerdy. I figured, like, you meet the right people if you just act like yourself, you know. If you're gonna pretend to be something you're not, you're gonna end up with people that aren't like you, or end up with and around people like that, and I don't want that. I'd rather hang out with nerdy people. Nothing's worse than trying to converse with somebody that you have nothing in common with at all. Well, it's good to have somebody that doesn't have everything in common with you, because they make life more interesting, but you want to at least have some interest together, even if it's just personality quirks. But anyway, that's enough for life on this one. I should have been talking about the game. This is Scott Pilgrim versus the World for the PlayStation 3. Unfortunately, you cannot get a disc version of this. You have to download it. So this is available on the PlayStation Network and the Xbox Live Arcade. I definitely would recommend this game if you like a nice beat 'em up. Just keep in mind that you're going to have a lot of patience if you play this on your own, for the simple fact that this game is quite difficult and you'll have to level up a lot. I highly recommend you playing this with 4 friends. Keep in mind that you cannot play 4 players online, which kind of sucks. There is a downloadable content download thingy to play as Knives Chow, Scott's 17-year-old girlfriend that he dumped before he started dating Ramona Flowers. And judging from the movie and her name's being Knives, and she has knives and all this stuff, like, I imagine she's a cool character. I haven't actually seen her in play. I don't have her downloaded. It's like $5 for one character, which is kind of outrageous. $15 is kind of expensive for this game, but if you're into this game, I think it's well worth it. Just the art style alone is pretty appealing. But yeah, check it out. There's definitely a demo. Try it out for yourself. If you have 3 other friends that like this kind of game, it would be a fun party game. And remember, if you suck the first level, you can play it over again. If you can't beat something, just keep on playing the level and you'll level up, as I did a few times. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble about life. I hope it made some sense. It probably did not, because I was trying to focus on the game at the same time, but hey, that's part of Mikey's Video Game Madness. If you're new to this channel and you saw this video for the first time, please check out the other ones. Check out the later videos, not the older ones, just because the older ones aren't recorded as well. If you want to see videos in high def, you gotta check. I said later, but I meant to say newer. Check out the newer videos, because they're recorded in high def and with a decent microphone. That way you'll give my channel a chance, instead of seeing like really cruddy videos, which I'm re-recording. This is actually one of the videos that was recorded cruddy that I'm re-recording now, so it looks decent, and I'm going back and doing that. Some of the other games, just in case you're wondering where they were, that I erased was Crisis, I think Need for Speed, Mega Man 2, I meant to say Crisis 2, the sequel to Crisis, and Bulletstorm. And I can't remember if I erased Brothers in Arms or not, but I will if I haven't already, because I want to re-record that, because that's one of my favorite games, at least favorite World War II games. I have so many favorites. And then Resistance Fallen Man 3. There might be more, but that's all I can think of at this moment in time. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and if you like this video and you're new to the channel, remember, check out the newer videos, because like I said, they're in HD. And subscribe if you like what you see, and like if you like the movies. But feel free to leave a comment, whether it's positive or negative, because a thumbs up or a thumbs down doesn't tell me whether you like the video or not, or what you don't like about it. So the more I know, the more I can make a channel that's fun to watch for you and fun to make for me, and we're all happy, and YouTube gets better, and instead of being a red and white symbol, maybe in the future be white and gold, because YouTube will become rich from this benefit. I don't know. But anyway, guys, take care. Bye.